Hey guys, Kamina the coach here. As you can see, I'm driving. And there are a lot of people on the road, so I'm going to do my best to focus on both. I'm just too excited to wait. And I don't think it's possible for me to not do this video, but I want to do it now while I'm still excited about it, just in case I lose the gumption to do it later. So I just want to jump right into it. The purpose of this video is because I've just had my first full hour-long energy healing, whatever, light work session done on me instead of me doing it on someone else. Woo! So first of all, I'll start off with the woman who did it, the angel, the otherworldly being here on earth who helped me have this experience. Her name is Tara, T-E-R-A, McCants. Elevated Energies is her website. If you're interested, please understand that I am not of this dimension either. I am very different. So not necessarily what is good for me is going to be good for you. So be careful taking people's advice. You know, I've said this before. Be careful. Use an element of discernment for that if you have it available to you. And we all have intuition. Try to tap into it when people tell you stuff, because we're not all from this plane, and what's good for me isn't necessarily going to be good for you. However, if you find yourself kind of alien in this world, you feel called to the healing arts, you're highly sensitive, then likely the things that I say are going to resonate with you. As many of you know or may not know, Kamina the coach, I lived overseas for 10 years, so I was helping people get ready to move and live overseas. When COVID hit and I came back to the United States, I started working on my adoption trauma. So I was adopted at birth and relinquished to a white family, pretty racist. So I'm a transracial adoptee, and I didn't find out until I was 32 that I was adopted. So transracial, late discovery adoptee. All that aside. And I feel and I would like to say right off the rip that I feel much less identified with that narrative after this healing session. I've always been kind of resistant to narratives anyways. And I've always said I'm a soul having a human experience and not the other way around. So anyways, all right, so I had an hour-long energy session with Tara. I recorded it, and I may share it on this channel someday. It's probably not going to be very meaningful for you to watch it, honestly, because she was working inside of my aura. So who knows? I recorded it. Maybe someday I'll post it. Maybe not. So I feel like I should do more than one video because there is a lot to unpack. So, first of all, where do I start? I was carrying with me from a past life huge trauma. So she called it past life post-traumatic stress syndrome. So, I come from a lineage of slaves, not surprising. She saw the water, she saw the lashes on the back, not surprising. The past life, maybe the most recent, but definitely the heaviest, darkest, causing the most trauma I was a matriarch of a village, a community of people. And I was the head of my family, and I had many children, and my children had many children, and I was caring for everyone. The village was in crisis. There was something not going right, and I took it upon myself to step in and start healing. And that through all of my lives here, because I'm not of this world, I've always been put here for this healing, for this enlightening process for others. Sorry for my
stay on
GPS.
I-10 East.
So I've always been here for this. So it's not unusual. Just one second. It's not unusual for somebody to continue to live out their same.
Keep left at the fork to stay on I-10 East.
Sorry, their same purpose again and again in their lives. So my purpose here on earth has always been
I-10
healing.
East for 10 miles.
Sorry, my GPS. My purpose has always been healing, and so I took it upon myself to heal my community and my family, and I was succeeding, and everybody was starting to feel better, and we're starting to make headway, and people are starting to feel peace, and there's love and light, and something destroyed it. Everything. My village, my family, I lost everyone. I failed. Hard. You know, when you watch the video, when she says it to me, like, I felt it. And let me be honest with you. Even though I know who I am, there's still an element of doubt. And even though I know who she is and what she was telling me was true, I can't tell you that I'm 100, because I'm not. There's just an element of me that always doubts, but there's no doubting the feeling. And I felt this as she was telling me this story about my past life. Okay, so she took that, removed that narrative. Also, so I did a video about my first experience with energy healing. My primary care is also a Reiki practitioner, energy worker, light worker, whatever you want to call it. And the last time I saw her, she did a little bit on me, and she told me she knew I was going to see Tara, and and if you're curious, she has a website as well. So her website is called Healing Gracefully, and so my primary care, her name is Kathleen Ricard. Amazing. So she did a healing, and she told me to let Tara know that she saw something in my sacrum, in my root chakra. My root chakra was broken to pieces, actually. I could never access my Kundalini energy, and I didn't understand why I couldn't access my Kundalini energy, because it wasn't safe. So even as I filled myself up with energy, I was leaking energy because my root chakra was cracked. So we often hear about blockages, but we rarely hear people talk about cracks and fissures. And so we're not talking like one crack, like it was shattered. And she's mentioned early life trauma, and I'm like, relinquished. She was like, oh, yeah. So it made a lot more sense. That early life trauma, she said she feels like there was a physical trauma in there as well. And I think that it would make sense that a woman who is traumatized, who gets a baby, and who doesn't stop crying, could potentially at some point, shake the baby to get them to stop crying or something. Who knows what they did to me when I was a baby. Also, right? So she actually wove that back together. So that wasn't unpleasant, really. Removing of that energy of that that matriarch energy, that PTSD from with that past life, that didn't hurt either. It wasn't uncomfortable. So she seals up my root chakra, and then we're able to look at other stuff. She's like, how do you feel? Oh, so important. Let's stay with that. So as we talk about me being an otherworldly being, me having a divine purpose here, yada yada, talking about the purpose, why I could not have been raised by my first family, my blood family. I would have been so immersed in that family and our family dynamics and trauma that I would not have been able to do the work that I'm here to do. Woo! Deep. And that relieved me of this narrative You know, I think a lot of us, it's easy to get into the why me, why me, why me, why me. It's powerful to me to finally understand, to know. And I had an inkling. After I met my first family, it's been a year, by the way. Easter, it's been a year since I met my mother. After I met my first family and I understood their story and I hear their background, I understand that not that I was better off without them, but that I could not have achieved my purpose. I could not even have sought out my purpose if I would have been brought up in that family. There are more things I could say about that, but I'm not. And because that's all, and because I believe that. Also, then I chose this family for a reason. I chose this family so that I didn't get too attached. I left my adoptive family at 14. Well, I was forced out, but whatever. Because I had this greater purpose. And so I needed to choose. My soul had to choose these people because I knew that I was not going to form any type of real attachment to them so that my soul could do its work. I can't tell you the amount of relief I feel, the lightness I feel from understanding that. And finding out my origin story did not give me this kind of relief and peace. It just feels so light.
In 2
wonderful.
miles, take exit 164 for Arizona 347 South Queen Creek Road.
Sorry, GPS. Gotta make this exit. Alright, so trying to make an exit while I'm talking. Going 75 miles an hour as well. Don't tell anybody. So what? Yeah, so relief. I find this relief. It's a year on my adoption reunion, my adoption blah 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 journey, and I feel relief and peace like I never ever ever thought that I would. Hallelujah. I wish this kind of peace and healing for you if you are also adopted. Hallelujah. I feel spectacular. This truck is flashing me. I don't know why. Anyways, so lots of love and light to you. If you're still struggling, because I suspect if you're an adoptee watching this, you probably are. Woo! It feels good to be out from underneath it. So she said, so she's removed my matriarch sadness. She's sealed my root chakra. She said, how do you feel? I said, I feel this, so like my right side. So when Kathleen had done her healing, she kind of touched where my kidney was, and I almost started crying. I said, I feel this sadness.
In half a mile, take exit 164 for Arizona 347 South Queen Creek Road.
So I told her, I was like, just this pull, twinge or something, my right side. And she asked if I had lost a child, or if I had children, or if I had been pregnant and didn't carry the child. I said yes. So actually more than once. And so one of my children that didn't come to this plane.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Arizona 347 South, North John Wayne Parkway.
Had wrapped itself around my right ovary and pushed kind of up into my digestive tract, because we were living out our grief. I was living out my unborn child's soul's grief, and that this
turn
soul,
right onto Arizona 347 South,
not
North
in
John
this
Wayne
life
Parkway.
and not in other life, was not meant to ever be here. And so this unborn child had wrapped its energy around me and was mourning itself again and again while it was wrapped around my right ovary. Now, I will say, as she started unraveling that,
continue on Arizona
there was
347
pain.
South for 14 miles.
I don't know how to describe it. She's like, now it may not be that, and she didn't say this, I'm saying this. It may not be like that for everyone. I'm highly intuitive. I'm very, very sensitive, so I could feel a lot of what she was doing in my physical body. And from this point on, there was a lot of like physical discomfort. Pain is a strong word because I've experienced so much pain. I'll say discomfort occasionally, like little jabs, stinging and stuff. But removing of this child was painful. Yeah, it was painful. It was like, it was as if like there was a string that had grown into my organs and like she pulled it out. It's like a burning, stinging sensation. And I don't know. So once she removed that, right, and then she healed up that space, and she sealing everything with light, really good, strong light and everything. So then she's like, how do you feel? It was weird, hard to explain. I could feel like energetic tendrils right here. And I was like, my right clavicle, where it meets my chest, I feel like something or someone is holding on to me. Like it's going, you know, there's so much light and so much love being radiated, it can't hold on, but it's trying. Woo! Chills. Chills. So we're gonna have to address this in another session, she and I, because she kind of glanced over it. She said she had seen it initially, but she didn't acknowledge it. And I think she thought as the light filled me that it would go away. And so she went in to look at it. She went in with the angels. It's really cute to listen to her too. She's like talking with the angels and she's like making all these little noises. It's so cute to me anyway. And instead of cute, it was kind of scary. I could hear the conversation between her and the angels, and it was a little scary. It was a little scary. I don't know how to put it into other words. I knew that there was something there. And so let's pause right there and go back to my life as a child. I've always known that there was something there. I used to tell people who I trusted that, so if you're old enough to know the Charlie Brown cartoon, there was a little boy called Pigpen, and he was always followed around by a little cloud of dust. And I always used to compare myself to him because I felt like I had this little dark cloud following me. I've gone so far as to say that I felt like I was possessed, like I maybe was a demon, because when I would meet people and I would entwine my life with them in any kind of serious fashion, tragedy would befall them. And I was like, what the F is this about? You know? Since I was very young, I felt this way. And you know, you have to be careful telling shit like that to therapists. Because, you know, therapists want to analyze. Sometimes it just is what it is. So, returning to the energy session. So I told her about this. I didn't tell her about that, but I told her about this feeling. She went and examined it with the angels. And when she came back, she told me that there is a being, not from this plane, not from this dimension, that is holding on to me, that doesn't want me to succeed in my mission on on the earth. And that this is likely the entity that destroyed my family and my village in that other life. And that resonates with me deeply. I have chills everywhere right now, and I'm that kind of righteous indignation, anger. I want to seek it out. I want to find out what it is, and I want to bind it. But let's not talk about that right now. Another video. So anyway, so she exercises it and seals the portal. the best she can. I believe, the best she can with whatever strength that she has. But whatever force this is pretty strong, and it's been helped. And because I'm strong, but it had its hooks in me for a long time. Deep, powerful stuff. It's so nice when somebody lets you know you're not crazy. I'm like, in the back of my head and heart, my whole life, I felt like I was crazy. So, such a magnificent feeling. So anyways, we're at 20 minutes, and that's pretty much it. She went ahead and did, she sealed up some spaces with light, wrapped me in light. We scheduled another session for a month. I feel, and so after that, just let me let you know how much she made me feel so much better. The guy that I was seeing broke up with me after that. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I didn't do anything destructive. I don't feel destructive. I feel light. I hope I look light because I feel light. I feel like the being of light that I am. I feel so good. So we're going to go ahead and end it there. Sending you every shred of love, light, peace, and joy that you deserve and that you have coming to you. I love you all so very much. I wish this type of healing, love, and light for you. If Tara is not the one, keep searching. You will find it. Don't give up. Kamina the Coach, I'm with you always. I love you. Until next time. Peace.